Well, good day, Tubes. How's she hanging? Added a new sign to the collection. I got a few more to put up, but I'm going to save them for another video. But anyways, how's she hanging? Pretty good here, pretty good here. So today is question and answer video for Bill number 13. Big old number 13. Lucky number 13, maybe. Some maybe not. Lucky 13 if it's Friday. Friday the 13th, some isn't lucky. But anyways, we've got quite a few here. Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 13 or 13 on the 13th video. That's weird. Something about that anyways. Okay, so let's get started here. We've got a question from Carson. And he says, hey Bill, my name is Carson from Iowa. My question is, what type of work do you do at the cemetery and how did you get into it? I do pretty much everything from opening the gate to closing the gate at night and everything in between, if you don't want to know the truth. I do cutting the grass, plowing the snow in the winter, trimming the grass around the stones. We're right now trying to pick up leaves, but it's been so rainy out, we haven't been having much luck with the leaves. I've got about 23 loads, I think, done. And I still got to get over the place, I think, once more. Everything's down now, but the rain just won't let up. It's just being a real pain. So, apologize, I'm trying to talk a little bit over my furnace going here. It's just really cold out here and I want to turn the furnace on. So, that's why I'm talking a bit louder. But maybe we'll get you in a bit closer here. That's better. So, yeah, that's, I do pretty much everything. Answer phone calls, call people back, arrange funerals with funeral homes. Pretty much one-man gang. I used to cut a lot of trees and trim trees. I don't do that now. We got guys that come in with like the bucket truck so they can get right up and do it, and it's, I don't have to go up in a tree now, which is good. I don't mind not doing that. Pretty much, I'm gonna say one-man gang of probably needing about 4 people, honestly. A little bit of everything. Do all the digging, all the filling in for the burials. I do everything. All the paperwork too. The only thing I don't do is like sign my own paycheck or pay bills or stuff like that, or do any of the government stuff like that, right? That's we get another lady in that does all that. But pretty much everything, a little bit of everything. So and how did I get into it is the next little question here. Well, my wife, her dad did it here for like 22 years. 22, 23-ish years, I think, before me, and well, I married his daughter, and then he got to the point in his time that he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Do you want to do this? I'm like, well, sure. And I've already been doing it for 4 or 5 years with him, you know, off and on between my other jobs. So I quit my job at the rental and then took over here. It's like 17 years ago now. I can hardly believe that. September 1st, 2003 is when I first started here. So it's been a while. It's been a while. I'm going to take it down a floor here. There we go. Take it down a floor. Alright, so hopefully that answers your question, Carson. Thank you for asking. So yeah, about 17 years I've been here. Doesn't feel like it, but when I look at the calendar, it's like, holy cow, you've been here a long time. Next one here is from Roger. It says, watching other YouTube videos, I see how there seems to be some kinship between YouTubers, whereas they help one another on projects and video it. Have you thought about reaching out to a machine shop to see if someone would help you make parts you need for the tractor? I'm presuming you're meaning the old 2N. Around me here, we don't really actually have a lot of machine shops for doing stuff like that. This is our town here is pretty well a bedroom community for Toronto. People live up here, have their house up here, and they drive to the city back and forth every day to work. So we don't really have much industry here for that. There's one place, and I don't think I'd even bother going there with it. So I don't know how much they would actually get into. I know I got no one around here that does like spray weld stuff. So if you had to like beef up a shaft or something and then get it you know, down again, I don't really have anybody here. We do have one place in here, but I know they send everything out again. I don't really want to get into sending stuff all over the country kind of thing. I try my best to do what I can with what I got, and then if I can locate new parts or old new parts, like for this one we got for the 2N from that tractor place, we go with that. And that's pretty good. That worked good. So we're gonna reassemble on that guy soon. So yes, and that was Roger from Alabama. Oh, I never had anybody from Alabama ask a question. That's good. So thank you, sir, for asking that. But yeah, around here, like down in Toronto, Mississauga, there's probably lots of people, lots of places down there that would do stuff, but I'd rather not really drive across the country kind of thing. It's not that far down there, but if there was someone more local here, I probably would do that. But it's a lot of stuff I can hopefully do myself. That's kind of the idea, right? You got to be self-sufficient. But anyways, thank you, sir, for asking that question. Hopefully that answered it. Oh, come on, don't mess up now. This thing sometimes messes up, and the emails go all over the place. So this one is from Henrik. Hey Bill, I've been following you for like 9 years now. That's a long time. I wonder if you will be known by people again when you're out on the town. I think he means if I get recognized. I actually got recognized the other night in the restaurant just over here. The guy was talking to us for a little bit, and he's like, oh, I love watching your videos, man, they're so awesome and stuff. I'm like, oh, thanks. But I get like, you know, like people come up and do that to me because I'm like, holy, who are you? Kind of thing, right? It's like they know me, I don't know them, and it feels kind of awkward. I almost get like the feeling probably what like the movie star, so Schwarzenegger or something, or some big movie star or something walk down the road and they're like, yo, everybody, he's probably like, holy crap. It's kind of overwhelming almost in a bit, right? But yeah, the odd time I do get that. We were many different places through the years here, and people that come, hey Bill, how's it going? I'm like, good, how are you? Trying to kind of act like I know them too, right? And I don't know them, so you know it's kind of a weird thing. But yeah, I do get that actually a fair bit, quite a fair bit. So that's all his question was. So thank you, sir. Thanks for asking that. I do get like that at the odd time though, quite a fair bit, really. I'm gonna have to go around like, you know, like this where nobody can see me soon, kind of thing. Oh, that's all right. It's good to meet people too, right? I keep forgetting every time someone comes up and says hi to me. I'm like, oh, let's get a picture for the Facebook page. I keep forgetting every time. I just get like a little bit anxious or anxiety there, maybe, I don't know. But anyways, so the next one here, thank you, sir, for asking that. The next one here is from Austin. It says, my name is Austin. What is your favorite place to go camping? I tried to message you on Messenger. Really? I didn't get that. Favorite place to go camping? I don't know. Honestly, we haven't been to a whole lot of places with the big monster trailer here because it's such a big monster. It's hard to move around. I shouldn't have got that one that big, but I figured lots of room for the kids and all the, you know, stuff that they're going to want to bring and stuff. So I got that kind of big monster thing. And then if I had one half that size, we probably would have ended up using it more. We go to, our friends have a place just not too far outside of town here actually, so we go there like once a year with them for the long weekend kind of thing. And unfortunately this year was kind of crappy because of the COVID stuff, and we never got anywhere, so that kind of sucked. But usually we'll take a week and go somewhere. We've been to King Carden a few times there, and it's pretty nice there actually. It's nice, and you got well, there's a pool there, and then there's like the lake and stuff there if you want to go to the lake for the day. It's kind of nice, so we go over there. And I've been pricing things around, and it's, you know what, it's pretty expensive to go and stay at some of these places for even a weekend now. It's like, I'm not renting a room or, you know, your trailer on your place. I'm bringing you know, the facility with me kind of thing, and I'm parking it on your piece of grass for 2 days, and you want like 200 and something bucks? What? I just stay home and stay in the here outside my house. So we don't generally go too far. And like I say, with COVID this year, it's just totally screwed everything up. So Anyways, hope that answers your question. Thank you, sir. And now we got this F250. You could probably go a few more places and feel a little more safe driving with that big trailer too, because it was pretty dangerous feeling before. I didn't kind of really like it so much. So that F150 just wasn't enough truck for that. And it's too bad I had to go through 2 of them to find that out, but we're good now. So anyways, so the next one here is from Grant Elliott. He says, my name is, my name is Edward from Reedsport, Oregon. And my question is, when you dig a grave, how long does it take you to dig the spot for the grave? All depends the location of it. If it's a good location, not like a real like hilly or I gotta get around stones or whatever, I can do like a grave for like just a casket in ground in 2 trailer loads of dirt, pretty heaped. And that takes, like I say, it depends on the location, how far I gotta drive dirt away too, right? So the average we'll say is probably 45 minutes, depending. If it's for a big vault, I take 2 and like a half trailer loads out to go a little deeper with them. And I'd be an hour probably kind of thing, and then I'm done. It's pretty quick. It's pretty quick, really. The bigger trailers definitely helped because that eliminated basically 1 extra load coming out with the smaller trailer. So I could do it in 2 instead of like, you know, another half or another one almost. It's weird too, it also depends on the ground. If it's a lot of dirt or a lot of gravel, one way or the other for some reason seems to go faster or takes less to get it out. I don't know. I never have figured that out yet. Depending on the ground. I think if it's rockier, more rocks in it, it's probably quicker, but then you have more chance of it caving in and then you're having to take more away. So it really all depends. I'm gonna say roughly about an hour. Summertime on a good day. Wintertime, you're probably an hour and a half because you're fighting slippery and snow and frickin' cold and all that crap, right? And second question, how long does it take you to dig a cremation hole? They're pretty quick. Actually, I can have it dug in the trailer, dirt on the trailer, faster than it takes me to hook it up and drive it back to the hole. So a cremation hole I can probably have in about 10 minutes, maybe even less. Again, depending on the ground. It takes a bit to, you know, get everything hooked up and drive back to the hole and get everything unloaded and stuff, and then you're digging and gone again. So I would say, in all fairness, from driving from the garage, loading everything back there, loading, digging and everything back, probably 20 minutes, I would say. It's pretty good. It says, I've been following you for quite some time. Keep up the good work and the good videos. Will do, thank you, sir. All right, next question. Oh, stop doing this to me, you crazy, stupid thing. There, sorry. It doesn't want to go down, if you know what I mean. Like I push it to go down and it just kind of keeps resetting itself. It's really annoying. Okay, I think I got her. The next one, I don't know who it's from or where you're from. Remember, you gotta let me know where you're from so I know where you're from. Just your state or whatever. How did you get into the business? Now, I think that was actually kind of already answered, but I'll answer it again. And the other part of your question was answered already too. That's funny. That's funny. It's already been answered once. Anyways, ask once. How do I get into the business? So I married into the business basically here. My wife's dad did it here for like 23 years or so before me, and then he had enough of it, wanted to retire, and so I took it over from him, and that was 17 years ago. That's the other part of his question. How long have you been in it? 17 years. I can't believe it. It's been a long time. But thank you with no name for asking that question. Okay. The next one is from, here we go again. The next one's from Finn. Finn's asked a few questions here, so that's good. Keep the questions coming. It says, hi Bill, I think he says, do you know if the 2N has a thermostat? I don't think so, actually. Some of them did in the upper rad hose, I believe, but I don't believe this one does. Oh, darn it, that was something I had to get today too. I got 2 seals for the tube thing. Gotta paint it up. But darn it, I forgot to get a rat hose. That's okay. I can get a rat hose later. I don't need it right now. So, it says my tractor doesn't, and it has a lot of condensation and milky oil in the engine. You know what that's from? That's from sitting and sweating. It'll actually get condensation on the inside of the engine from like a hot and cold cycle. So it gets really cold, or if it was really warm in that day and then it gets cool at night, it'll condense water into it and drip into the engine. Or the transmission, you'll get milky transmission fluid. I bet you your transmission fluid might be milky too. Milky oil in the engine, and wondering if it's because the engine doesn't get hot enough to boil off the water from running a cool and not having a thermostat. Do you see milky stuff in your oil breather vent? Well, I've changed all mine, so mine's pretty good right now. You can probably get the water out by running it. You'd have to probably be out plowing like all day. If you only go for an hour, it's not gonna do nothing. It's gonna even probably make it worse. Change that oil though. Get that out of there. Don't leave milky oil in there, especially in the engine. Oh, that's really bad for engine. It's not good for hydraulics or transmission either, but it's not as bad as engine. Engine's really bad. Don't leave the milky stuff in there. Get rid of that. If you see it starting to build up again, dump the oil out. Get it out of there. Run it for a bit and then dump the oil out while it's still warm, so it'll all come out. If you're really concerned about it, you might have to fill up with oil again and run it a bit again for a while and then dump it out again. It's going to cost you a bit to get her out. It's not good on the engine at all. Really bad. So yeah, try to get that out of there. Change your filters and stuff too, and hopefully that helps. Best way, I don't know. There's no real good way to keep the water out either. If you don't actually get it out and run it for a while, it's gonna do it again. So you need a good job for it to do. So like my tractors that I use like every day, I've never had that problem because I work them a lot every day, right? And get them really hot. So if you've got potentially, well, this is a lot to ask, but if you've got somewhere that you can run like a finish mower on the back of that thing for like half a day, that'd really help. But yeah, you know, you'd have to have a mower and you'd have to have a, you know, enough acreage to do that, right? So, but you need to actually get out and get it running. That's what you need to do. So, no, I never seen it in the breather vent either. So yeah, you want to try to get all that drained out of there. But hopefully that answers your question. But no, I haven't seen a thermostat in mine either. So I hope this heater's not too loud up here. No, this way, that way. Hope it's not too loud. It's nice and warm though in here. Should be shutting off fairly soon. Okay, the next one is, oh, here we go again. Next one is from Ryan. It says, hi Bill, my name, this is Ryan from, Owasso? If I said that wrong, I apologize. Michigan. Do you use regular gas or rec fuel in your tractors? So my tractors, my main ones are diesel. Fuel in your tractors. These ones here in the mower and stuff, I use premium, which is like a 93 or so or whatever octane. It's the higher octane. I use rec. I don't know what rec fuel is. Can you leave a comment? Tell me what the REC rec or whatever it is fuel is. 100% ethanol free. Ethanol. Everybody that's, you know, made ethanol think it's the best stuff in the world. It's got to be the worst stuff in the world. Hello. It actually attracts moisture into it. So if you leave it sitting around too long, it's going to get moisture in it. And it's like, well, that's great. That's like what you don't want, for sure. And ethanol is really hard on gaskets and seals. Very hard on gaskets and seals. It'll dry them out real fast. Weed whackers and stuff, chainsaws, if you use that gas in it, leave it in like over the winter, probably won't start in the spring again. Because it's either wrecked the seals or it's hardened it up where it can't pump fuel. So he says he uses the ethanol-free gas in his tractor and Jeep golf cart. Keep up the good work, thanks. He sent a picture of it. Here, let's see. Well, that's pretty cool. A Jeep golf cart. Where'd you get that from? That's pretty awesome. I like it. But thank you, Ryan, for asking that question. Hopefully I got her answered for you. And next one's from Vince. Vince loves potatoes. I think this is the same Vince. We'll see. Hey Bill, it's Vincent from San Diego. Yes, I bet you it is. I recently got my wisdom teeth out. Oh, that sucks. I have never had wisdom teeth. Can you believe that? 43 almost years old. Never had a wisdom tooth come in. I don't know why. But anyways, I don't mind. In Farm Sim, here we go. He loves potatoes. We did potatoes like 2 weeks ago there, bud. In Farm Sim, will you do potatoes or wood again? We're going to have to do wood coming up in the next Farm Sim because we've got like a plot to clear and open up for our farm. We're going to start a new farm. Would you buy a Fendt if I can afford it? Would you like to see Kubota in Farm Sim? Yeah, you know what? I've never looked for mods for Kubota, but I wonder if there's any there. I don't know. I'd have to look. What kind of mower? Oh, that's going to shut off soon. I just clicked the gas valve off. Oh, and there goes the phone. What kind of mower do you have in real life? So you guys have seen my mowers. We've got the little zero turn that I kind of use up and around here, and then I've got the 2032R with a 62-inch drive over deck. Do you have a push mower? I kind of do, but I hardly ever use it. I find it more of a pain in the rear end trying to get out, putting gas in it and firing it up, and then it won't have work, you know. I just try to do all the zero turn and get the weed whacker out. Hope you, Dylan, and I don't know what he's saying here, Pez, do American Truck Sim. We're gonna actually soon do another, planning on doing another meetup on Truck Sim and go for a tour somewhere. So there we go. Vince and his potatoes. Vince likes potatoes. We did potatoes a couple weeks ago there, bud, on field 3 on Big Tony's. It was pretty good. Okay, the next one is from Ben. It says, hey Bill, my name is Ben from Missouri. I farm with my dad and we use Oliver and White tractors. They're really great tractors that don't give many problems. That's good. I was wondering if you had many of those tractors up your way. Not a whole lot, you know. We did some baling for some friends in the springtime there. They had a couple of white tractors there that we were using. They were pretty good. Yeah, loud though, but they were good. I've never really seen too much other ones up here though. They're not that common up here. I was wondering if you think about getting one. If you should think about getting one if you get fed up with your 2N. Haha. Well, I'm getting pretty fed up with a 2N. Well, hopefully soon be getting her back together. Listen, it's quiet now. Sorry for all that noise, but it was really cold in here. It's nice now though. And on your sweet corn, what varsity was that? Because I tried a few and I plant a variety called Ambrosia and it seemed to taste the best. I can't really tell you. I can't even really tell you what the name of it was. It was something in honey. That was the name of it, but butter and honey or something like that. I can't really remember the first name. It was a blah 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 and honey. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. And just a little update on that too. The corn that I saved before all the friggin' squirrels got it, we dried out, really dry. And I took 6 or 8 seeds down, planted them in a pot, and about 3 days they started growing. So that's pretty good. So I'm gonna have lots of seed next year. Hopefully it works still. And so yeah, it started growing. I didn't like grow it to like, you know, a big stalk or nothing. I just let it kind of go up out of here, and then I put it outside and it kind of got cold that night and I kind of froze it. But anyways, it did grow though, so that's good. And he says, we use a Lucas oil stabilizer in all our tractors. It's really good and softens your seals and stop leaks and boosts oil pressure. You should try it if you get a minor oil seep. And it's a big hassle to put a seal in. Oh yeah, I know. I got a seal leaking on the back where the 3-point hitch arm mounts on the back of the 2N here. I'm gonna have to take that whole thing apart. Might try that first though. Might be a good idea to try some of that Lucas stuff. See if that helps. I don't know if it'll kind of prevent that leaking, but I got other leaks too I gotta work on too, so fun. Anyways, hope Hope you have a great day and look forward to fixing your fixing and project videos. Well, thank you, Ben, for that. And yes, we're gonna get back at some here soon. So, we're getting down now. We only got about 50 left here. No, I'm just kidding, about 6 maybe. Okay, so this is from Daryl. Do you have a service manual for the 2N tractor? Thanks, Bill. Yes I do. Let me just get her here. I've got this one here actually. And it's pretty good. It's got some pretty crude pictures in it, but it helped. It helped with the wiring and stuff, worked pretty good. So yeah, I do have that one. And I think there's one online too. It's probably the same thing, but that's a pretty good manual. That one covers pretty well everything. So thank you, sir, for asking that question. Okay. Next one is from Chris Moore. It says, hi Bill, it's Chris from Illinois. Question about a leaf blower. Okay. It starts and runs till it's taken off choke, then dies. I've cleaned out the carb and it's still doing the same thing. It's a big echo blower. Wow. You need to tell me if it's a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke. If you've had the carb apart, there is a lot of really small little passageways in there. Like, I mean, like you need, hang on a sec. You need, well, if you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner, that makes a big difference. You need a set of these little torch tip cleaner things. And you can see all these little wee wires on here. This one I use a fair bit. It's really tiny. You gotta poke those through and then run it through an ultrasonic cleaner. It makes a big difference. It'll loosen stuff up, and then take it to your air gun and blow it out. Now, what is it you said here? I've cleaned the carb out. Now, did you rebuild the carb with new parts, like new diaphragms and gaskets and stuff? That'll make a big difference too. If the diaphragm's hard, it'll probably run on choke, but as soon as it takes off choke, it doesn't pump the fuel enough to keep it running. So that's potentially what it is. But with the little 2-strokes, you got to make sure everything is like wicked clean. Like no speck of dirt. Like you've seen how small that little wire was. Half a little piece of dirt that size will like wreck everything. Will ruin everything. And you're best not to try to run it like that because it'll be running probably too lean and it'll probably blow the engine on you. Just so you know. You got to make sure she's running perfect. Especially if it's a 2-stroke. So hopefully that helps, and you're gonna have to be like super clean with that carburetor. But I mean, go on Amazon and get like a cheapy ultrasonic cleaner, put some hot water in it with like a bit of Dawn dish soap or something that's pretty good, and just let her run the cycle. Blow it out again, run these little wiry things through it, run it through 3 or 4 cycles. You won't believe what, like, you know, you'll see the stuff like smoking off it in there. That's what mine does. It like looks like it's smoking, but it's actually like vibrating all this stuff off it, and it's like, wow, I thought that was clean. Apparently not. And it's like it'll run like brand new then. So hopefully that answers your question, and good luck with that. This is from Brandon. Hey Bill, it's this Brandon. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I have been through there. My question for you is, do you think that your GMC is still on the road? Just curious, Brent. Oh, well, that didn't stay off too long. Do you think your GMC is still on the road? Just curious. Oh, I think he's meaning the old Sierra. I wouldn't think so. Someone's probably taken the motor out of it and maybe used it in something else, because it's a pretty good motor in there, but it was starting to get pretty tired, and I mean, it could be still going, but it had like 380,000 kilometers when I got rid of it. That's a lot. That's a lot, really, for, you know, it was going to need something else was starting to go on it. It was making noise. I'm like, finally, I'm like, let's get rid of this thing. It's starting to cost a lot of money. Well, I would say probably not. They probably scrapped it. I think they gave me like $500 for it. Really, I should have just kept it for that. But what was I going to really do with it? You know, 2-wheel drive. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably been squashed into a Honda by now, I'm sure. But anyways, thanks Brandon for asking the question. Hopefully it answers it for you. I really don't know though. It could be, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Next one is from Brian Rutherford. It says, hi Bill, how big is your shed? Ooh, this shed here? This is a pretty big shed. Let's think now. We made this 16 lengthwise, so from like this wall down here to this wall down here. The roof goes this way on this thing as you're looking right now. This is the higher part of the roof. I think it's 16 feet by, well, you know what, I got a tape measure. Sure, I got a tape measure. 16 feet. I'm pretty sure it's 16 that way. And then what does he ask me? Reason I'm asking is because I have one, and I'm thinking about spray foaming it. How wide is it? How long is it? How tall is it? What brand of spray foam did you use on yours? I used, oh, what was that stuff called? It's Home Depot stuff. Get someone in to do it though. Honestly, don't spray it yourself. Pardon me. Spraying yourself is a freaking lot of work, and it's a real pain in the rear end. And their kits aren't as good as like the professional guys. Their stuff's way different. It's way better. You'd be a lot more happier. Like if I wanted to spray this as much as they would spray it, I'd probably have to get 2 more of those kits at least to get it as thick as the studs are. I didn't do it as thick as the studs, right? So I would probably have to get at least 2 more of the kit. So that's like $1,600 or more. It'd be a lot cheaper probably to get someone in to do it. But anyways, so 16 feet long by well, that's 10 feet to there, so if you went to the outside, it's probably 11 feet. What did I put down here? I put down, yeah, so 4, 8, 4, 8, yeah, so 11 feet. It's 11 feet width-wise, 16 feet lengthwise. Height-wise, I just used regular wood. These are, well, up to the ceiling here. I know you can't kind of really see. What did I put those at? Probably way bigger than I should have probably put up anyways, but I'm a bigger person and small spaces I don't agree with. So I've got this at, the floor to the rafters is, well, what are we at here? That's 9, 10. Oh, this must have been 2 by 10s I used. And then 2 by probably 8s over on this side. So it's got a 2-foot slope all the way down. I think that sounds right. I didn't really bother cutting lumber. I just kind of bought her and put her together like that. So I didn't, you know, have any waste really. I'm like, well, I want it higher than 8 feet. I want a slope. So if I did, you know, 8 feet here, I have to do 6 feet over here. And I'm a 6-foot guy, so it'd be like over here like this. So I got it 8 and 10. That worked pretty good. And I can have a nice, lots of room over here, right? So if I went like, you know, 10, so if I went 8 foot here, I'd have to be 6 foot over here. So that would have sucked. Because I'm just over 6 feet. So like over here, the rafter would have been coming down like about here on me. So that's why I did it that way, I guess. But I didn't probably need to do this side 10. I could have probably done this side like 9, but then you're cutting a foot off. Like, why wouldn't you just leave it? So that's kind of the way I did that. But anyways. So Brian is from New Mexico. But spray foaming it, what was the name of that spray foam stuff? I have to look back in the video, I can't remember now. I almost had it. It'd be probably different down your way anyways, if they sell those kits down there. Different stuff probably, but if someone's near you, around you, or in your town, or close to you, whatever, see if they'll come and spray it and, you know, get a quote kind of thing from them, of course, and you'll probably be more happier with that, I think, because they'll be able to spray like that whole stud cavity and like, it's way different stuff. I don't know. The stuff we get here, you spray it on and it only goes like this much, you know, like maybe an inch. Their stuff, they spray it on like paint and it goes, it'll fill. You'll have to probably trim the stuff off. It expands so well. But anyways, hopefully that answers your question, but that's the size of this shed anyways. Next one is from Mark from Warwick, New York. Do you still have the cement mixer? And yes, I do. It's down at the other building down there. Didn't use it at all this year though. Should have got it out for something, but I never did. So I managed to, the guys that mix my cement for the concrete monument foundations back here, they had a little bit extra, so that's what I used to fix the pad out here. And then I did a couple of more of those real big patio slabs too. He says, I got this extra here, we mixed a little bit too much, you want it? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I used their stuff. why not? They're just gonna dump it over the hill and I'm gonna have to move it anyways. So, but I do still have the mixer. And he says, you should make a hitch for the 110 TLB to move the trailers around. 110 TLB. I don't know how I would hitch onto there unless I use something on like the loader bucket kind of thing, because you can't really do anything on the backhoe thingy area. You can't really attach it to the bucket. I got enough tractors, I guess, to move trailers around. The little green tractor, it moves a lot of weight, I'm telling you. That, what is that thing? 6x10 dump trailer, I can load it. It's like, pulls it like amazing. It's fantastic. It's a little bit more work in the wintertime, mind you, but it's like, wow. It's like, I know what's behind me, but it's like you wouldn't kind of really realize there's like 3,000 pounds of dirt in the back of that trailer or more when it's wet. And it pulls it pretty good, so I don't really need anything else to pull anything. But anyways, what else do you say here? Move trailers around. How's the jumping jack? The poor jumping jack really needs its carburetor changed or rebuilt. Kind of like what we were talking about. I got something in my eye. I am sorry. It's kind of like that question we just answered there. It's really hard to start this one, and I think it's got carburetor issues now. Just give me a second here, guys. I go to frame. I got a carb kit for it. It's right here. It's a Bing 48, I think it was, carburetor. So that's the little kit, whoa, with the little, whoa, fuel pump diaphragm thing there and some of the other stuff. So I got to really do it, but it needs a recoil too done on it. Broke the spring on it. Really hard to find parts for that thing because it's German. So I'm not going over to Germany to look for parts, we'll say. So, and he says, I like the watchtower in rust. Ooh, that was a good build, wasn't it? You should put beacons on it. No, I'll let the helicopters crash into it. If they can't see it, that's their fault. But anyways, thanks, Mark, for asking that question. Hopefully that answers it for you. I think we are down to our last question from Travis from BC. Says, hey, Bill, it's Travis from BC. Hope everyone is safe. Hopefully you guys are all doing good too. We're pretty good here, so far it's all good. Of course, you know, as soon as school starts up, oh, the COVID's getting worse. Well, of frickin' course it is. Yeah, I honestly, I don't know. Something's going on. I'll tell you a pretty cool story here in a moment, if I remember. With this COVID and how much of a load of BS I think it is. Anyways, I was wondering, here's his question. I was wondering where you learned to run a backhoe. So we had the 4110. If you've been on this channel long enough, you'll remember the 4110 John Deere. Kind of like the one I got now, but it's quite a bit smaller. When they first got that, they got a loader and a backhoe on that. That's what I started digging graves with, and it was a lot of work. It was so small, I had to like back halfway onto the grave and then start digging that in and then slowly move myself back until I got it all out. It took a long time to dig with that, but what happened to that tractor? It started having oil leaking from the main seal. So when I showed them that, I'm like, oh man, you're talking diesel now? That's going to be pretty expensive. It was a little diesel Yanmar in it. It was dripping down onto the mower deck and leaving a big schmear mess. I'm like, you know what? I can't remember how many hours were on it, but I'm like, we should probably send this one away. So we sent that away with the backhoe attachment. Then we got the 2720, and then we got the 110 TLB, kind of sort of the same sort of time-ish there. And I just learned it by doing it. You know, you get your sequences down and, okay, I gotta bring the boom up, so that's this one, and I want to open the bucket or curl the bucket, and you know, that's this one, and you get used to it eventually. And then working around the monuments, and especially when you're digging down in the bottom of a hole and there's, you know, vaults or caskets, you gotta be good. And I've gotten really good at it. Not digging my own grave or nothing here, but I got really good at it. Good enough that I won an excavator competition at the Drayton Fair about four odd years ago. I won $100 too. It was pretty good. And Dylan, I don't think really understood why he was in the competition too, and he actually got second. He did really well too. And he's been out helping me with my mini X now and digging cremation holes. And you know, it's only a hole, well, it's only a hole that's like 12 inches or so wide. Okay, so there's the 12 by, we might be 20. So by the time you get the bucket down there and you start curling, you got to watch the knuckle on the back doesn't rip the back of the hole out. He was doing that and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, why is it doing that? I'm like, you got to know exactly where your machine is all the time. And he's like, oh yeah, I didn't kind of really realize that and understand it. I'm like, well, now you know, and once again, not digging my own hole. I said, now you know why I'm so good and how I got so good and why I won that competition. Because it's all the precision. It's piles and piles of precision to do, you know. So he did good too, though. He got second place, you know, and he got, I don't think they had a prize money for second place, but we each got like a little mini excavator model. It was kind of cool. I'll have to show you that sometime. It's pretty neat. So working around like basically glass, freaking granite. It breaks so easy and it chips so easy. You gotta be so careful with anything around that. You can wreck a lot of stuff real fast, right? And so working around all that, I got like super precision going on it now. So it's pretty awesome how it came out. But anyways, he asks, was I nervous? I'm trying to think when I first got the machine, the 4110 with a little backhoe, and it was a small backhoe, like it wasn't very big at all. You couldn't do much damage with that. The 110, oh yeah, you can do a lot of damage with the 110 pretty quick. The TLB, but a little 4110, it wasn't tremendous. It had probably a bucket a little bit bigger than the one we built for the Mini X. Not much though, and eventually I talked him into, can we get like a bigger bucket for this thing? Because this is taking me like, that machine, it took probably 2.5 hours to dig a grave. It took forever. It was a long time, especially in the wintertime. It sucked. And being such a small machine, you had to have the trailer like so close to the hole, and it was like, you just get over the trailer and that was it, and you had to keep like pushing and pushing and pushing the dirt up to the other end of the trailer. It sucked. Now it's pretty awesome with the 110. I really like it. It works good. But no, I was probably nervous getting on it first, but you know, I'm always like, oh, I love doing this stuff. This is great. And is that a coyote out there? Could be. But no, I got used to it pretty quick. Got used to the controls, what did what. And you couldn't do much with that one little guy anyways. It wasn't really meant for digging huge graves. But yeah, eventually I got them talked into getting 24-inch bucket for it, and that was a little better. But sometimes you couldn't even get it up high enough then to get it into the trailer because it was like really not very good machine. But and that kind of sucked too, now that I remember that, because that was my mower too. That was the thought back then, get one machine to do everything. And it's like, you take the trailer back, and I think actually at that point actually I had to use the loader on that to take the trailer back. And because I had the backhoe on, right, I had no way to hook a trailer to it. So you put the trailer at the hole with no tractor on it, nothing holding it down. So if it took off on you and got away or took off or whatever, I thought it's not very safe. I didn't like that. So, but the problem with the one tractor to do everything was it, you're out mowing. Yeah, I got a funeral for Wednesday. I'm like, oh, great. So now I got to try to get a whole bunch of mowing done, because then I got to take the mower stuff all off and then put all the backhoe stuff onto the tractor, and then go dig it and blah, 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 blah. And then you're not mowing for like 2 days, sometimes maybe 3 days, depending, because you got to go out and dig the hole. Here we go again with the furnace. Get out and dig the hole, and then you couldn't do any grass cutting because you need the backhoe and stuff for the weight for using the loader to bring the dirt back. So I mean, we got it set up pretty good now, where we got a tractor for pulling the trailer and a separate backhoe. Works pretty good now. So, it says keep the great videos coming. Keep the great videos coming, and they are great. Well, thank you, sir. Travis from BC. Well, thank you for that. So that is our last question. I'll just refresh here. You know, that's it. Our last question. So if you got a question for me, send it to billqa@yahoo.com. And the one thing I was going to mention about this COVID thing, my wife had a friend whose husband went in the big lineup uptown here, like at the hospital. They had their testing booth tent thing there, and it was backed up for like a 3-hour wait. He was there for like 3 hours waiting in his car, and they slowly move up, and I don't know how many cars he was still behind, and he's like, I can't wait anymore. I have to go pick up my kids, so I gotta go. So he already registered. They come around, I guess, and register, and then you wait your turn to get in. He, I guess, went up and told them, okay, I gotta leave. I can't wait anymore. And they're like, okay. So he left, blah, blah, blah. 3 days later, I think it was 3 or 4 days later, he got a call from them saying that he tested positive for COVID. Isolate yourself. He never got tested. He never got tested. So unless it's some kind of clerical issue, I think the whole thing is just a freaking scam. Honestly, he was never tested, but they give him a thing that says, oh yeah, you tested positive. Isolate yourself. It's like, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but this doesn't make sense to me. So anyways, ranting, and I'm blood pressure's, yeah, it's probably going up pretty good now. But anyways, that's it for question and answers number 13. Woo! Awesome. And you guys have a good day. And if you got a question, billqa@yahoo.com. Send her to that email address, and we'll do her on the video. But anyways, that's it for today. Thanks again for watching. We'll catch you all later, and you guys have a good day.